3 tips to help you buy the right learner surfboard. So the right learner board makes the difference between fun and frustration. And speaking from experience, if you get the right board from the beginning, it means that you will be able to stand up more easily and really experience the fun part of surfing, which is where you get hooked and you want to keep going and you love it and you're addicted and all that sort of stuff like I am. So my name's Ali, I'm from Surf Society, and I'm going to talk you through these 3 tips right now. First tip is material. So we recommend you start learning on a soft board, otherwise known as a foamy. And the main reason is for safety, because when you use a soft board, you are at some point going to hit yourself with your board. It does happen in the surf sometimes. So would you rather be hit by a board that is hard and has hard fins, or a board that is nice, soft, forgiving, and has soft fins? This is actually a soft board here, one of the ones that I actually learn on, and you'll see the fins flex. The board feels soft. Yes, it has a slick bottom, but the deck and the rails and everything is nice and soft and forgiving. The other thing is that when you're learning, you do tend to treat your board a little bit more roughly than a more experienced surfer. So, you know, you can just chuck that in the back of the car. If you put it upside down or do anything wrong with it, it'll be okay. Whereas a fiberglass board, not as forgiving and can be easily damaged and hurts. The other thing to think about is, what if you run over somebody else in the surf with your board when you're learning? I don't know about you, but I'd feel awful. So reasons I'm still sticking with a softie, even though I'm a long way down the track in my learning journey. The second thing to talk about is size. So generally, when you're learning, float is your friend, which means a bigger board is easier to learn on, easier to stand up on. Most learner boards will be, I would recommend, between a 7-foot and a 9-foot board. But for me personally, I am 175 centimeters or 5'9". I'm not like super slim, and I have 0 level of physical fitness. Well, not much. So I went for a 9-foot board to begin with, and have now downsized to kind of an 8-foot board. For anybody over 110 kilos as a general guideline, you should start with a 9-foot board. If in doubt, go bigger than you think. However, height, weight, and your level of athletic ability. If you're really good at like skateboarding or snowboarding, it's going to be likely that you pick it up a lot easier, so you might not have to go for that kind of gigantic board at first. The third tip is shape. So you'll notice the board's behind me. This is the nose, or the top of the board, and it is round. A round nose makes the board more stable, so it's easy for you to stand up. And we have the tail, or the bottom of the board on this side, and you'll notice it's a square tail. It actually makes it easier for you to catch waves as well. So we do suggest round nose, square tail. You can also have different rail shapes. So the rails are the sides of the board. It's a bit hard to see on these 2 boards here, but one of these has what I would call a square rail. So if you can see, this is quite square here. This particular's got an edge. The other blue one on the other side there has more of a round rail. Square rails tend to go straight, so they're good when you're an absolute beginner. I still love having fun on this one myself. And this one has more of a rounded rail, and I literally mean the shape is more round, so therefore it's easier to turn and flow along the face of the wave. So, you know, personally I've used both. I still have fun on both, but as somebody who's actually starting to turn a little bit and go along the face of the wave, I like the rounded rail. If in doubt, start with square rail, round nose, square tail. So if you don't want to go buy a board, it's kind of a tip number 4 really. Go to a local surf school, pay for some surf lessons, use their boards, find out what works, what size works for you before you invest. Because, you know, you see people all the time, we see people all the time who buy boards and then realise it was the wrong board, get frustrated, give up. So I don't want that for you. I want you to have the most fun you can in the surf, and that comes down to the 3 tips I've just given you before. All right, that's it from me. Bye.